Just ahead on CTV News.
Hundreds of people gather at Prince George's Community College to hear the president and vice president speak about how they plan to continue to lower prescription drug costs. I'm Bryce Parker. We'll have more coming up on CTV News.
And is your child anxious to go back to school? We have some tips to help get them prepared. Plus, you might have to dig deeper in your wallets for school supplies this year. Those stories and more up next on CTV News.
Good evening. Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for CTV News. It's August 16th. I'm Michaela Newton. Our top story tonight, it was a case that shocked the community. The Baby K case is back in court where he learns his fate. CTV's Gina Barty is at the courthouse with an update.
That's right, Michaela. It's actually a case that shook the region. Now, 17-year-old Caden Holland, better known as Baby K, was sentenced today, charged as an adult for attempted murder and other related charges for the brutal incident that took place last year. Now, you may recall Holland, who was 15 at the time, hopped on a school bus and attempted to shoot a 14-year-old boy. Fortunately, the gun misfired, but Holland and two other accomplices proceeded to beat the victim. Now, Holland did enter a guilty plea earlier this year, the state asking for 60 years with all but 25 years suspended. Reporting from Upper Marlboro, Gina Barty, back to you in the studio.
All right, Gina, thanks so much. Well, Maryland State Police are investigating a tragic crash that occurred on Thursday in Prince George's County that claimed the life of a 16-month-old girl, Zariah Plummer, from Virginia Beach. Her two brothers, 7-year-old Zayn Plummer and 5-year-old Zaire Plummer, were also in the vehicle and are receiving treatment at a Washington, D.C. hospital. Now, the driver, their father, 36-year-old Dana Plummer, was taken to Capital Region Medical Center for injuries. Now, that crash occurred after an Amber Alert was issued and law enforcement requested a police pursuit from Virginia. Charges are pending as the investigation continues. And a suspect is now in custody after firing shots in and outside of a home this morning in Hyattsville. Police responded to 17th Avenue in Langley Park at 2:30 a.m. for a report of the suspect firing shots. Outside the home were family members of the suspect, 8 adults and 4 children. Now, the suspect refused to leave the house, forcing police to close down neighboring streets and advising residents to shelter in place. Officers were able to take the suspect into custody without incident around 11:30 a.m. and no injuries have been reported. And President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris made an appearance in Prince George's County yesterday. The topic of the day, lowering prescription drug prices. CTV's Bryce Parker has the details from Largo.
Governor Wes Moore, Senator Ben Cardin, and a host of other Democratic leaders in the state of Maryland gathered at Prince George's Community College yesterday to thank the Biden-Harris administration for their work to lower prescription drug costs.
We are Prince George's proud to have the Vice President and President here today to discuss the tremendous progress of their administration.
We're all here to say thank you. Thank you, President Biden. Thank you, Vice President Harris, for what you've done for Maryland and our nation.
Today is a day to know that because of the remarkable leadership of President Biden and Vice President Harris, that this country continues to move forward, and we can and we will be a country that sees all of us and not just some of us.
2 years ago, the Inflation Reduction Act overturned a 20-year-old bill that prohibited Congress from negotiating the cost of prescription drugs. The margin, just one single vote.
The deciding vote was cast by Vice President Kamala Harris. She passed that because she's president of the Senate. President's a good title for her.
These past 2 years have provided time for negotiation that has led to almost a dozen prescription drugs that will have a new price cap implemented at the start of the new year.
Well, guess you know how much it costs those companies to make that insulin? $10, T-E-N. But they were charging up to $400 a month for it. But now they can't charge more than $35 a month.
More prescription drug prices are scheduled to go into negotiation with similar price caps attached in the near future.
We know it isn't just about health care. It's about giving folks just a little bit more breathing room.
No senior should have to choose between either filling their prescription or paying their rent. And today we take the next step, thank you, Joe, forward in our fight.
Now, this event was about the work that has been done during the Biden-Harris campaign, but if the Harris-Walz campaign is elected in November, only time will tell how the future will play out for this piece of legislation. From Largo, I'm Bryce Parker, CTV News.
All right, Bryce, thanks so much. Well, Vice President Harris will be making an appearance in North Carolina today. And the county's Department of Permitting, Inspections, and Enforcement, or DPI, has put out a notice to all county landlords. Now, this comes after the county enacted the Permanent Rent Stabilization Act of 2024, which will take place on October 17th. Landlords will now cap rent increases for buildings constructed prior to the year 2000 at 6%. They will also cap rent increases at age-restricted senior housing facilities at a maximum of 4.5%. That first violation of the act will result in a $1,000 fine. Additional violations will increase fines up to $5,000. And a recent survey by Resume Templates found 1 in 4 hiring managers consider Gen Zers unemployable. The report surveyed 1,000 hiring managers who 88% of said Gen Z lacked necessary workplace skills and 81% said they lack accountability. 39% of managers say that Gen Zers' career expectations are just not realistic. Chief Career Strategist at Resume Template, Julia Toothaker, says, quote, every young generation goes through this kind of criticism. Millennials were called lazy and entitled. Gen Z is being branded as lacking work ethic and accountability. And a recent study shows that Maryland has one of the highest number of residents postponing retirement than most other states. Maryland ranks number 7 on the list of states with 31.2% of residents 65 and older still in the workforce. Now, from March 2022 to 2024, the percentage of older Marylanders in the workforce increased by 22.8%. And the top 3 states with older U.S. residents still working are New Jersey, Delaware, and Indiana. Now, 22% of older U.S. residents are still working nationwide. And in the wake of the recent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, a local organization is offering a program of protection training for those who guard public officials. The session is offered by independent security advisors and provides training to local law enforcement. The training took place at the MGM Casino Training Facility at the National Harbor, and the session focused on many areas, including close protection detail, advanced procedures, and emergency action drills. The training even got the attention of an out-of-state official who wanted to make sure he is well prepared.
As a leader of a town, as well as it's crucial to having a basis in to help law enforcement in executive protection. Recently, we had our governor last year come out. It's absolutely crucial knowing that element to make sure all the proper protection is in place for him. That way, so we can avoid security lapses and security gaps, as what President Trump experienced in Butler, Pennsylvania.
And today was the last day of the 2-week training program. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Michaela Newton. Still to come, it's essential to be prepared on the first day of school, but how do you know when you're overspending? We hear from local shoppers when we return.
We are the nation's largest integrated healthcare system, providing life-changing care to over 9 million veterans.
Our hands are busy, competent, skilled, healing, helping, and friendly. A place where diverse teams come together hand in hand to provide full patient-centered care. Working in state-of-the-art facilities with influential leaders in healthcare, all with a single goal in mind: to help veterans heal, recover, and get their lives back. In a place where everyone plays a part and where your efforts are truly appreciated. A place so innovative and forward-thinking that we're rebuilding hands, and where even robots lend a hand.
Join hands with us. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov.
Our connections make powerful things happen. uniting individuals and communities. We are Rotary. We are people of action. With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. Around the world, generations of leaders build new friendships and solve problems, turning great ideas into reality. Take action with us. Find out more at rotary.org/action.
Hi, I'm the Big C. Hey, look at this beautiful couple. I knew as soon as I said that, I was like, don't say it, don't assume. Did you know more than 2 people die from skin cancer every hour?
Oh man.
It's a bummer, but the good news is skin cancer is a cancer you can see, so you can go get checked. You can check each other regularly, make it romantic. Turns out I'm a matchmaking mirror. You're welcome. Love might be in the air.
Welcome back. The University of Maryland has appointed a new director of fraternity and sorority life. Devin Walker recently served as the director of fraternity and sorority leadership development at the University of Southern California. He also served as associate director of sorority and fraternity life at Loyola Marymount University. Now, the appointment comes 5 months after the university placed a cease and desist order on all Interfraternity Council and Pan-Hellenic Association fraternities and sororities in March. The order was lifted on March 15th for all but 5 fraternities. Now, Walker is scheduled to start on August 26th. And the back-to-school season means excitement for some, anxiety for others. Some might be nervous to transition from elementary to middle to high school or be moving schools altogether. Others may worry about the activities that come along with school, like public speaking or athletics. As a parent, how can you help ease your students' anxieties? Well, family medicine practitioner Dr. Dia Boltman says instead of focusing on the worries you and your child may have, get your student excited for the positive.
As adults, we know what's to come. You know, you're entering middle school and it's awkward. Everyone's like a little meaner. And so you try to prepare your kids for the worst. And sometimes that can do the opposite. That makes them more anxious because the expectation is there. I try to just highlight the good things about school. I even ask them if there's something they're looking forward to. For the most part, they're like, no, summer's ending. You know, I don't want to go back to school. But I ask them to try to find one thing that maybe they are looking forward to. Is it a new teacher? Is it a new or an old friend? Is it participating in sports? Just to give them a little glimmer of expectation for something that's positive.
And another tip for preparing your student for school is forming an anxiety toolbox, which could include a family photo or reminders of coping skills like deep breathing or a grounding technique. And we're about 10 days away until the start of school for Prince George's County students. Back-to-school shopping is underway, and according to the National Retail Federation, this year's back-to-school spending is expected to be the second highest figure on record. I spoke to shoppers at Target today to see how much people are spending for back-to-school shopping. Shoppers are loading up on school supplies and new clothes as the new school year approaches.
We've purchased notebooks, school paper, pencils, of course. Right now I'm looking for a backpack.
But it's not cheap.
I probably have spent at least, maybe $2,000.
$200 on just one kid.
With inflation, products are continuing to rise in price, and that includes school supplies. Take a look at some of these pens here. These Papermate 14 set of gel pens are going for as much as $13.39, but they are on sale. The regular price would have been $15.99. The National Retail Federation expects total back-to-school spending to hit $38.8 billion, only slightly below last year's record, $41.5 billion.
Actually, I'm out right now, and I'm just checking the prices.
The National Retail Federation also notes that over half of back-to-school and college shoppers start their buying as early as July.
Yeah, I think middle school is going to be an exciting new experience for me. I think it's a great new change because in uniforms, I feel like I'm the same as everybody else, but in no uniform, I feel like I can be more unique.
And Prince George's County students return back to school for the 2024-2025 school year on August 26th. And if you're ready to travel the Chesapeake Bay by ferry, you won't have to wait much longer. Tourism directors and county officials met yesterday to discuss potential ferry costs, routes, and benefits throughout the state. and the project is estimated to generate $2.6 million in annual tax revenue and carry 50,000 passengers per year. Now, the initial route would connect Anne Arundel, Calvert, St. Mary's, Queen Anne's, and Somerset counties. It will now potentially expand to northeast Cecil County into Crisfield and Somerset. Test runs between the first 5 counties are set to begin in a year. And so to come on CTV News, the game of life can be tough, but it doesn't have to be when you play your cards right. After the break, we're joined by a local author helping teenage girls one day at a time.
Why is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose. What makes us tick? Below the surface. My why is diversity and unity, a safe space in my community. Living with sincerity, giving every day my everything. With my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. For some, their why is a summer under stars, memories and moments, connections near and far. Why is the before work hustle, an after school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. Our reason why is united, undivided, seeking understanding. Here, a handshake is a promise. All our hearts are dancing. Laughing is our song. It's kinship, friendship, tide rising with the ship. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why for a better us.
I'm the Big C.
What is the Big C?
I'm here to tell you about skin cancer. Skin cancer is the cancer you can see. If we see something new, changing, or unusual, that could be skin cancer.
Is there skin cancer on me right now?
I'm not a dermatologist, but you know who is?
Yeah.
You're dermatologist. You gotta get checked, girl.
Do I?
Yes! Everybody has to get checked. See the Big C today.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Welcome back. Regardless of race, gender, or social class, life can be hard for anyone. Now imagine competing with Instagram models. A study by the National Organization for Women found that 53% of American girls are unhappy with their bodies at age 13, and that number increases to 78% by age 17. To a teenage girl going through the motions, life may seem unfair, but today's CTV News is joined by author Karen Reed to discuss her new book, What's in Your Hand, The Game of Life. So thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Anytime. So that's a really lengthy topic. So what made you kind of write a book about that?
Yeah, so I know that a lot of teen girls are facing issues in their everyday life. I just wanted to encourage young girls that they're not alone. There are other teens that are out, in schools and churches and other places that are struggling with different issues. And then just to encourage them not to throw in their hand and to, that they can succeed in life.
And this is your very first book.
This is my very first book. I'm excited about it. I think it is. It's needed, it's necessary, it's definitely a conversation starter.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You do some etiquette training in the county. Tell us, who do you train to, and tell us all about it.
Yes. So I do etiquette training through my company, Momentum Pathway. The reason I got started in etiquette training was through attending charm school. And so I learned a lot about dining etiquette and social etiquette as an adult. And I wanted to give back to the next generation. And so, why not a better way to do that through my program, with teen girls.
And so with that, why are these resources necessary? So your book, the etiquette training, why are that important for young girls?
Yeah, so you mentioned the book and etiquette training. I also provide self-esteem coaching for teen girls. I think it's necessary, as adolescents, teens are learning who they are. They're, learning their identity. A lot of times they struggle with ways to fit into society. Of course, you put social media in that, right? The social media deception, the filters. And so they have a lot that they are dealing with. And so I think these resources are necessary to help them and to empower them to build their self-esteem, to know who they are, to understand, what are some of the triggers to that may result in low self-esteem, and having that support system. So we deal a lot with that in my programs, one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching.
And some of the girls in your programs, do they ever come to you and kind of talk about those issues that they may be facing with social media and with those kind of like insecurities?
Yes, so during the coaching program, they have weekly assignments, and they also have homework assignments. And during those assignments, it's a safe environment, so they're open to, talk about the issues that they have, to be transparent. And because it's a safe environment, they open up, and, I provide that advice to them, give them that wisdom, some nuggets, and just, provide resources to them. So I think it is definitely, again, I think it's a good program, of course, Momentum Pathway, to, instill those values in them at an early age.
Absolutely. And tell me about the demographic of the girls that you serve. What are the age groups?
Yes, so we provide training and coaching programs for young girls between the ages of 12 to 18.
Perfect, perfect. And then tell us a little bit more information about where we can find the book, where we can go to purchase it.
Yes. So the book, What's in Your Hand, The Game of Life, it is available on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble's website. You can also purchase the Audible version on Amazon.
Absolutely, perfect. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming.
All right, thank
And again,
you.
make sure to check out the book signing tomorrow at Barnes & Noble to show support for a local author. And for more information, make sure you visit what'sinyourhandbook.com. And still to come on CTV News, Simon Buggs recently sat in on Largo High School's football practice. He has the Friday sports page right after the break.
Home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
What's up, everybody? It's time for your Friday sports page. Now, with the start of high school football season being right around the corner, teams began practice this week. and I got the chance to sit in on the practice of the football team over at Largo High School.
Yusuf! Take him to the woods!
It was an intense day yesterday as the Largo High School football squad continued practice for the 2024 season. Now, the Lions had a decent season last year, finishing 5-4, but although that is a winning record, head coach Deron Thomas is looking to build off of that as he has his sights set on a deep playoff run.
5-4 is a winning record, right? And we don't take wins for granted here because we know how it could be on the other end, right? But that's not up to our standards, right? Coming off of 2 straight years where we went to the state quarterfinals in back-to-back seasons, you know, we would consider a 5-4 season sort of like an underachievement for us. We had a lot of young guys that we had to kind of get up to speed and coach and develop. But this year, you know, we're hoping we can hit the ground running and do a lot better and get to the state championship.
Now, making it to the state championship game is no easy task, and Thomas touched on the type of team he envisions his squad being and how it will play a big part in their success this year.
We always want to hang our hat on being a smart, disciplined, physical football team. That'll take you a long way. That allows you to play at home. That allows you to play on the road. We want to play great defense, and we want to have a strong running game, so we can lean on that.
Teams are always looking to improve every season, and cornerback Babatunde Phillips, defensive end and tight end David Williams, and running back and linebacker Tymon Fox told me what they think the team needs to get better at to capture the state title.
I would say accountability, you know what I'm saying? Just accountability for your own discipline. You know what I'm saying? It's a big thing. You got to own it, you know what I'm saying? You got to, when it's your fault, you got to take up for that. Everybody got to take accountability to, you know, do their job, do their assignment and all that.
The thing we can work on is like better discipline with this team we have now, and stop like being overconfident and actually working together and communicating with each other.
Discipline, communication, and all, you know, communication, that's really it. And we all play as one, you know, that's really it. That's all I can say for real.
And with the start of the regular season just 2 weeks away, I asked Thomas what the message was to his team, and here's what he had to say.
One day at a time. One day at a time, one play at a time. Maximize every day you get the opportunity to be out here.
Good luck to the Lions this season. I can't wait to see you guys in action. Moving on to the WNBA, the Washington Mystics were in action last night, but fell to the Minnesota Lynx 79-68. Washington will have the chance to add another win to their total tomorrow against Minnesota again at 2 o'clock. Meanwhile, the Baltimore Orioles came out on top in the first game of their series against the Boston Red Sox last night. The Birds won the game 5-1. Baltimore and Boston will take the diamond again tonight at 7:05. And that wraps up your Friday Sports Page.
All right, thanks, Simon. Before we go, let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, we have some rain on the way. Saturday is going to be 84 degrees, and we'll have scattered showers and thunderstorms. Sunday, we reach a high of 86, but we have a 90% chance of rain, so expect heavier storms. Monday, unfortunately, more rain is on the way, and we're looking at a high of 85 and a low of 65. And finally, a look at our community calendar. Radio host Asia from Magic 102.3 and 92.3 is hosting a free back-to-school kickoff this Sunday. They'll have multiple DJs, food trucks, free ticket giveaways, one free backpack for each child that is registered will be available as well. This event takes place at Commanders Field in Lot 4, but for more information or tickets, visit eventbrite.com and search Asia's Back-to-School Kickoff. And that's all the time we have. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good night, everybody.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.